Hi, I'm Chris Moyer, Senior Director of Content and Research at Z-Prime. I have the pleasure to be joined by Meir Shargal, Managing Partner at Utila. Meir, thank you so much for being at ETS this year.
My pleasure.
This year's theme at the Energy Thought Summit is Love Your Energy. And I don't think there's a better person really to talk about the changes that are occurring in the energy space, the utility business, than you. As one of the managing partners of Utila, you really are focused on all the things that are impacting the industry. Can you tell us a little bit about Utila and your view of what's happening in the industry?
Sure. So we founded Utila, started around mid-2012. One of our themes really was, we looked at energy, and energy as holistic, electric, gas, and water, as really vital resource, that is really important to the development of the world. Giving the fact that big percentage of the world still doesn't have running water and electricity, really to develop a vital industry and a vital society, you got to have electricity. So that's really the forefront of founding Utila, really to help utilities really transform as the changes in these industries is happening. Anywhere from renewables, that have a big effect on the industry, to reliability, to managing assets. All of those are really part of our service offerings, that we offering to the utilities. And really around transforming, so if you think about what's happening in the industry, basically that utilities now facing with external parties that trying to enter the industry, flat growth, so there's not much growth. And if you think about how utility makes money, they makes money by deploying capital. And if there is no capital to deploy, they got to think about operational efficiencies. They got to think about other areas, basically to increase revenues, and that's where we're working with a lot of utilities to transform.
There's so many things that I want to pick up and talk about with you in relation to that, but let's talk about the convergence of that flat load growth that we've seen for the last 20 years and renewables, and how utilities can really manage the next 20 years and this digital transformation, this decarbonized transformation, and still have a viable business model 20 years from now. What are some of those key things that utilities can be doing to manage this transitionary period?
So utilities, there's no better than utilities to have relationship with customers, right? I mean, when a utility works in a community, there is certain trust, basically for services that comes from the utilities, and not comes from a third parties. So utilities can become really the gatekeeper. I don't want to say the gatekeeper, but basically the gate opener, to other third parties to come and access and provide innovative solutions. So normally when you see innovation doesn't come from the incumbent. Innovation normally comes from outside, but the incumbent can be either enabler or really a party pooper, really, I would say. So we think that the utilities, as an enabler, really providing a set of services around renewables, around, because they are looking for growth, right? So basically, if there is no growth coming from building new generation, there is no growth coming from building new transmission distribution lines, right? The growth have to come from somewhere else, so the growth have to come from either providing renewables, or solar panels, so basically put solar panels into rate base, and provide a rate, basically for customers, to build solar or renewables. Can come from other services like internet service, as well. So there is some utilities that actually, since they have fiber in the ground, basically to start providing internet services as well. So there is a lot of opportunities that different utilities is looking for. Needs the right management, needs the right open mind. But I think, as we work with utilities, I think utility is going to be in the forefront of this transformation.
I love that idea of being a gate opener, and that is such a positive, hopeful look. There has been concern that utilities have missed the opportunity to be at the forefront of this innovation. But with that idea of being a gate opener, because they have all of these assets that they've built up over 25, 50, 100 plus years of being in business, there's a real intrinsic advantage that they have. And capturing that gate opener to what the customers want in the 21st century is going to be crucial. As Utiligent sort of approaches the marketplace and works with utilities, what are some of those key things that you advise your clients and want to be working with your clients on?
So the first thing is listen to your customer, right? So basically, if a customer demands a certain service, and you don't have it, you gotta find a way to provide it, either by building it yourself or partnering with somebody else to provide them this avenue to provide those services, right? That's a first and foremost, really listen to your customers, right? A second thing is a lot of this I don't want to say fear, but a lot of this closeness, basically comes from as a utility, I have assets that I'm maintaining, right? If more and more customers leaving the grid and become, basically go off grid, there is less and less customers left to pay for this infrastructure, right? So you don't want to leave. You don't want to have customers leaving your grid. You have to find a way to have the customers stay on the grid, and even the customers that goes off the grid, they still have to be connected to the grid for just in case. So finding a way to be creative with rates, that's really need a utility and a regulator, and a regulator have to, they have a long way to go to really be innovating, itself, because the utility can be innovative, but there is no, regulator
right.
support.
If you don't have that, the PUC support.
Correct. So we've seen some utilities really advocating for a connection fee, a flat connection fee, even though when you want to go off the grid, you still have, if you want to be connected to the grid, you still have to be, even if you don't use it, you still have to be paying a monthly connection fee, for having a backup, right? There is some innovating rate case, basically structures, that the utilities are doing, So there is some anecdote of innovative, and there is, you look at the market in California, you look at the market in New York, those are really leading the forefront with some creative ways of really packaging all of this transformation.
It's a really exciting time to be in the industry, and Meir, I'm so grateful that we had a chance to sit down and chat. Thank you for sharing your thoughts at ETS19. We really appreciate your time and hope you enjoy the rest of the week.
Pleasure. Thank you.